marketing, events, 2020, pandemic, all the fun things that we know we're living for right now. So I'm going to ask you a question to kick us off in this process. You have been tasked with planning an event. Your boss says, here's X amount of money, which I'm sure is much smaller than it has been in years past. And your boss says, go plan an event, which will bring meaningful change to the lives of all of your attendees. So what's your first step? All right. So before you say, who is this girl? Who does she think she is? What kind of event? Blah, 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 blah. I just want to point out that I advertised this event for Friday afternoon in Central Time. On Wednesday afternoon, I made one post. I made it in one group. I left my post up for only 12 hours. And we had over 200 people sign up to join on that post, 6 private Facebook messages, and 5 emails. And that's not even including like the 4 random forwards that we got notification on. So now you look, we've got 60 people on the chat, more and more coming in right now. This is a very standard, about 60, 65% drop off for online free events from a social media channel with no official registration. That's normal. We're right around our target right now. We were expecting somewhere between 60 and 110 people today. So we have that many people in 12 hours from one group, and you can do that too. And that's what we're going to talk about in the series. So you might say, yeah, okay, but this is different. No, it's not. Last week, my intern Addison, who's on the call today, and I advertised a very niche event, very tiny target market through an email. It was one email. That event was 4 hours last Friday. We advertised it on Monday of that week. We had 70 people register, 60 people show up, and over 45 people stayed logged in for at least 3 hours. So it's a bit of a higher percentage because it involves some registration, so you have a little bit of more buy-in. So the real question is, why are these successful? How did this happen? Why are you all on this call today? Why are these successful? This is not magic. It is a proper stakeholder analysis and empathy mapping. So a lot of you had identifying purpose and goals and objectives, and that is totally right. Always asking why. Why are we doing this? Why are we hosting this event? What kind of change are we hoping to see happen? That's where we're going to start today. And it seems so simple. So don't log off yet, but I promise you it's going to be a wild ride over our hour together. So who are you actually planning your events for? Who are you trying to delight? Some people in the chat said their bosses. Some people said the students, right? So for the purpose of today's session, just to get us all on the same page, we're going to say undergraduate students at university is who we're trying to delight in our events, who we're designing our events for. But again, this process is exactly the same, whether it's for undergrad or grad or professionals. It's the exact same process for everyone. Do you truly know what your undergraduate students want? And more importantly, do you truly know what your undergraduate students need? So we're going to start off today with some empathy mapping. If you don't know what empathy mapping is, this is where we truly get into the heads and the lives of our target market. So we can see, we can feel, we can hear all the things that our target market sees and feels and hears. Normally, the portion of the process that I'm going to cover here today would take 30 to 40 minutes. However, through the amazingness that is Zoom, breakout rooms, Google Slides, we're going to divide it all up, and we're going to conquer it, and then we're going to come back, and we're going to share it out. Super engaging. So you will, of course, have all of the slides and all of the steps in your follow-up materials. So you personally are only going to touch one of the pre-empathy mapping step processes, but you'll get all of them. This process, the whole process, is all about getting in the heads of your target market, in this case, undergraduate students, and what they want and what they need. So you're like, okay, I know. I'm student affairs professional. I know what my students need. And you can think that, and you can state that, and it's fine for you to think that. But do you really know that? How do you really know that? So you remember earlier in our Find Our Peeps game, yep, that's right. We have students on the call today by invitation. Students wave to everyone. Students. Yep, there they are. We had some hospitality students, some journalism students. We've got some accounting, business, golf. We've got a little bit of everything here today. And this is where it's going to get super fun. I'm going to split all the student affairs professionals and the professionals from the group into your breakout rooms to do one step of the empathy mapping process. But I'm going to have all the students go into a separate room by themselves. They are going to do all of the steps themselves about themselves as students. And then the industry professionals are going to tell us what they think students want and need. And then the students are going to share what they actually want and need. Isn't this fun? Are you all so glad you logged in today?